Today I'm in Venice, Italy, on vacation actually, and I decided what better way to spend vacation than head up and visit the manufacturing and headquarters facility of Clay Paky in Bergamo, like 3 hours that way. So we're gonna go hop on that train and go check it out.
Usually when I'm traveling, it's for work, and that means I don't have a whole lot of extra spare time. But in this instance, I had a whole day free. After a few messages back and forth on Instagram with their graphic designer, Marco, we set a date and a time for me to come and visit. And after the factory tour, we'll get to take a look at the future of light with one of their new products I can't wait to use in the wild, Xtylos.
So I'm not sure if I took the correct transfer or not, but I do know that that train right there is going to Bergamo, and after I'm on that train, I don't have to worry about anything else. Well, we have made it. I wasn't sure we were gonna make it all the way, but we are here in Bergamo now to go meet up with Marco. He's gonna be my handler for this fun little trip here. Marco, finally. That's amazing, I love it. I can officially say I've ridden in the Clay Paky car. There it is, bigger than I thought. We're just about to go into the factory right now. I'm so excited. We're here at Clay Paky with Marco. We've got a couple of things lined up to show you guys. I hope you're as excited as I am. They've got their top secret door over here that you may have seen on Instagram, where all the magic happens. I don't know how much I'm gonna get to show you, but hopefully a little bit of excitement, you'll see. So Marco, I've had one question that's been eating away at me. Will I get to meet the person who voices the demonstration videos and the demo, the real life demos?
The Axe-Core Profile 900 comes in two versions. High BI is the generator of amazing mid-air visual effects.
It's a secret person.
Yeah. It's a secret person. He's the one, he's behind the door. Yeah. Okay, okay.
But let me give you a little bit of the flavor and the logic. So if you start as a logic from the product wise, you know, product has features. The features are light, zooming in, zooming out, colors, and shapes, patterns. Perfect. So if you think about this, you have to consider the product has a base PC, a head, moving head, and then you have to stick inside all the possible features, which with these three blocks. So it means that every product which is on this layout, you will see these are the offices and this is our shop floor. Every product follows the logic of having groups and groups which are then assembled into a main block.
Yes.
Okay. The logic of groups is quite requires high skills because normally these products are very compact.
Yes.
And the temperature inside the temperature inside can be very high. Yes. It reaches up to 466 degrees centigrade. Yes. So it means that automatically you need to secure that small tolerance and high temperature means that you can have a little bit warps that have to be well considered, both in the project as well as in the physical manual realization. This is the secret line, but I will give you a few hints about it. Nevertheless, the logic of all the production is basically lines where then you got two Enzo, you will see, which are producing the blocks. We're using shop floor visual management. It means that on a daily basis on the line, people will make a quick interview on items which are related to quality, to safety, to productivity, to information. Okay. And upon having some open questions, which are fixed, if there is anything which is diverting from the yes or no, which would be required, then there is a color which is made in red, and there is an action for improvement.
I see.
Okay, up to there.
And are those just workmanship things or quality of parts or maybe errors?
It can be quality of parts, that's one, quality itself. It's a way to make sure Come here, I will show it to you. The 5S, which now became 6 for safety, is basically, they come from a Japanese name to separate things that you need and don't need. You put order, you clean up, you standardize, and then you keep and maintain. So here you got the 2 aisles, where we got blocks which are prepared. And then finally you will have the C-shaped, which is then bringing the blocks into the base, and from the base they are directly shipped for our final testing. The system automatically is bringing, he knows where to pick up. The component will be brought down, and there will be a clear indication on what he has to pick up and where. Because one layer has got many.
Right, of course.
And then you will have an arrow telling him exactly where he has to pick up and where.
Wow.
Qui c'è anche una freccia dopo che gli dà l'indicazione.
Adesso lo faccio uscire.
Ok.
Ok, guarda qua.
Ok.
Schiacciando qua.
Okay.
Ah, okay. Wow.
So you will tell him that's the code and this is what you need to pick up. By the way, he did it on manual pace.
So there's
Otherwise,
nothing, yeah.
you would have the number.
I see.
How many pieces he
Right,
has to
right,
pick
right.
up, in fairness. But I won't.
Questa è la quantità.
This is the same. So one operator at the same time he will have quantities over there and he will know where to pick up.
Wow.
Because the system has got more and only system more where he puts the thing. If anything goes wrong, then what do you have to do? You have to climb in and take them out. But in reality it's 5 years. Of course we do proper maintenance, but we had zero trouble with it.
Ok.
Grazie.
Thank you, bye.
So product, we pass them through the testing area.
Yes.
And after testing, then it goes directly ready for the ships. To be clear. Ciao tutti. As a final step, the testing is one story. Here we call it finishing area because basically if you, even if in reality once you use the product for 10 minutes it already collects dust. From a logic approach we wanted to give it to a customer same as when you buy a car. You want it nice and shiny.
Yes.
And this is where we make
see.
it nice, polished, and we get it ready for shipment. Shipment is quite clear. As of today, it's open to different level of shipment that you may have. It means that you may have customer who wants it with polystyrene.
I did not know this was.
Yeah.
It's fake. I didn't know it was fake. In all the photos, you can't tell.
This is fake.
No,
That's
those
the
are real.
one.
Yeah. But I've seen this, and it never occurred to me.
Also in this area, you can see the same story and the greens and red whenever there is an issue. Here is product incoming. The product is kept on hold until they will release it, and only then it will pass to the warehouse.
Yes.
The logic of having them sitting on production, even if they belong to quality area, technically is because we want stronger connection between who's producing and them. Any issue which is raised here, they can immediately interact with them. I mean, I don't want to bother you with the high-level equipment that are there. Also, the one which looks very small, which is that thing there, which looks like
the printer.
That's a color meter.
Okay.
And color meter, when you talk about quality of colors, is a way to convert human sensibility about color difference to value sensibility of color difference, which is quite drastically. And this is what they are doing actually here. They got some level of detail. We do not make incoming 100% on all components, but it depends on the quality level which is reached by the supplier. A supplier where you have never problems, you will have an AQL 0, nothing checked, pass through. A supplier where you might have some issue, you will escalate the number of checks that you have to do. In the past, you would have one operator who would have 45 minutes operations. Now we are on one operator which has maybe 15 minutes operation. That's one of the great difference between Chinese manufacturing and European. Chinese, since they've got a big turnover in their resources, they must decrease sometime the time of operator just to put a screw on. The weakness, I have to say, the capacity, but the weakness is that they split into many multiple operations, so that if they have a turnover, no issue.
Yeah.
You only need to teach one person how to put one
Right.
screw. But at the same time, you don't have the full visibility. While here, we tend to have operator which at least
They can
must
get
have
an idea of
10
how
minutes
everything-
knowledge of a block,
Yes.
and one following the other in order to try to
Yes.
make sure that their quality is right quality for the one who's following.
I see.
This is where we are moving.
Let's go.
And this is the whole area of R&D, which is firmware development, software development, mechanical parts, testing area, product validation, and of course lifetime test. So this is more or less the whole area of R&D.
Thank you so much for your time.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the demo studio and test area. And we do a whole lot of obviously presentations, testing. Gives you a real sense of close to a production environment.
Right.
They can haze it up. They have a PA in here, so you can get some real live fixture throw distances. They can hang things all the way back there. It's a great place to assess fixtures, both for us and for the customers, which I think is really nice. They've made these couches way too comfortable.
I fall asleep, yeah.
Here, just fall asleep. There's, typically there's at least one of everything in here.
Right.
A lot of multiple fixtures. The fixture we've spending a lot of time looking at is the Xtylos.
Yes. Now, before I have to stop you there, the one fixture I haven't seen anywhere available is the mirror.
Yes.
So it doesn't exist. I need it to exist. I want one so badly.
It's fun. So I was with VL for 22 years, and one of the fixtures that we created there was a fixture called the VLM. So this is like an old friend to me, and this will be a new fixture again, because it'll be paired with Xtylos.
Right.
Would you like to probably take a look at the Xtylos?
Yes, primarily.
I saw Marco kind of pop in here. Yeah. I assume you know quite a bit about Xtylos. From what
A little bit. I don't know the specifics of. I mean, obviously nobody knows the specifics of the engine.
It's an RGB laser, or 3 lasers that are combined in this piece back here. They're all basically collimated and then pushed out the front. And it obviously the benefit is a tremendously high output in terms of colors.
Yes.
With the beam fixtures in white, they always look very impressive.
And you throw a
but you go into a color and it falls off.
I know all about this. Yes.
You've lived
this
it,
is the
right?
dream. This is why I want this.
And this gives you what's interesting about it is, the beam fixtures have a very high definition. You say, hey, that looks like a sharp beam.
Right.
It's nothing compared to what this can create. And the contrast is the thing we notice, even with the beam fixtures that you and I are familiar with, where you say, hey, this is really impressive. Nothing. We'll do a comparison of a Mythos and a Xtylos.
Xtylos, okay.
The contrast of this fixture between darkness and light, it's just like a hard
edge,
cutoff.
like a razor.
It's like a laser, right? But it's like a very fat laser, and so Marco can show us some cues of that. The source element is color mixing, it's intensity, it's strobe, all in this piece back
that whole
here.
module is
so
just,
all of those elements, there's
no more physical
parts.
There's no more physical shutter, there's no
it does
physical
two
flags.
Things. It simplifies everything, and it also gives you more space for the mechanical items.
Makes everything lighter, I'm sure, too. Or is it?
It's a pretty light fixture. It's a pretty light fixture, and as you can see, it's very compact. The thing that was impressive to me at ProLight, I think we had something like 36 of them.
Yeah.
ProLight's 10 hours a day for 4 days. I've never had a pre-production fixture that worked flawlessly the entire trade show. And they just did. They just go.
So I'm sure that the heat output into the rest of the head is significantly less than with.
It's not. You
not
can put
not
your
an LED,
hand,
but
you can put your hand on the back of it. It's cool to the touch.
Actually, is it colder or hotter than an LED? As far as like
terms
wattage for wattage.
in terms of what's generated back here,
Yes.
it's absolutely cool.
That's awesome.
This is those fixtures that we've been playing with.
Wow.
And the first thing you'll notice about it is it's an incredibly flat field. And you're welcome to completely fill. Incredibly flat field, high intensity, as you turn back around, it also fills the lens completely as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's very even, and you don't have really any beam aberrations. You just see color, which is what we're looking for, and light. And you can see the fall off is, as I said, the contrast is tremendous between black and light.
Yeah.
And when Marco runs some of the gobo cues that he's got, you'll see what I'm talking about. We still have a little bit of haze in the air. This light's so bright it doesn't really matter. So we have aperture reducers, so you can really get that light down, and of course it's so quick.
Wow.
Right, that it almost mimics a laser.
It does,
appearance,
yeah,
right?
like a laser pointer.
Now this is when we start to bounce off the mirror. What's interesting about it that we've noticed is you don't get the sense of a lot of light loss after you bounce off the mirror.
No.
What bounces off of it almost appears to be as bright as what's hitting it in the first place.
Right.
And that's been really impressive to us.
Okay, I'm gonna take a moment to pause the video and explain something that I didn't quite realize as it was happening at this moment. And that is that the beams of light that are reflecting off of the mirror, so the Xtylos is shooting from behind us and hitting the mirror and then bouncing back. The reflected light is brighter. And this is kind of like a cool, one of those cool unintentional effects that I really like to see. And the reason it happens is because when you're shooting light through the atmosphere, and you have haze particles or fog particles in the air, it is easier for the light. Remember, path of least resistance, that's always how physics works. If the light is going straight and it encounters a particle in the air, it is easier for most of those particles to bend in a shallow direction rather than bouncing all the way back. So if you're looking at a beam of light from behind, it appears less bright than if you're looking at it from the front. And so that's the effect that is happening here, is that even though it is bouncing off of a mirror and technically incurring some light loss from that, the beams appear brighter as they bounce off the mirror. I wanted to pause that and explain that real quick because I think it's a really, really cool bonus unintended feature. Okay, let's get back to the video.
It's incredible.
If you walk back here with me,
The white and the red are the same brightness. It's like incredible.
yeah, it's interesting. Marco can get there's a CTO channel that allows that white to have a little bit more organic appearance.
Right.
But you see how nicely it fills the front of that lens.
It's beautiful.
Come up here. So now you start getting into patterns. Maybe if we come down here, this is where I think you'll really notice a difference as you look back. What you thought of as crisp in a beam fixture is nothing compared to this.
Right.
So what he's got in here now is the rotating prism. And I believe, is this the 16 facet as well, Marco?
16 plus 6.
Yeah. So you have those two in there. You know, you feel like you could cut paper with that all the way down the line.
Wow. There's no zoom lens, is there?
No.
Just focus?
Basically your control of the beam is just going to be with the edge.
Mm-hmm.
And then prism will give you the appearance of a little bit wider beam.
So that animation is incredible. So that is there's an offset circle gobo. Can you take the go? Okay, yeah. Right, the offset's dot.
And what's interesting about it is it gives it a really organic feel to it. You know, I'm always looking for things that don't feel as though they're electronic. Electronic feeling is easy to do.
Right.
Organic's a little bit harder. And you get some great color capabilities out of it. It does a really nice job on pastels. So you're not just limited. There we go.
There.
You're not just limited to RGB. The pastels in it, I think, are really beautiful. And of course, you do have a little bit of element in the beam path, so you don't have that perfectly clear, which I like to see. I like to see just a clear, even beam all the way from the source.
Wow. That the camera does pick that up. It definitely picks it up there. Okay. And that's the Mythos on his left hand and the Xtylos on his right.
So
It's like too bright. Yeah.
Whereas with this, they'll seem a bit muddy.
Wow. Yeah, that is.
It's a different tool. Now, obviously, when we go to white, you know, now you're going to see this is where the mythos will be incredibly strong.
Colors get a little closer, but still a big difference. So Clay Paky has this wonderful museum. It's not only Clay Paky stuff, it's all sorts of historic lighting fixtures. They even got like, you know, mirror balls, all sorts of fun things, oil lamp projectors. I wanted to see a golden scan, so I think you guys have a golden scan.
The video see is for a DJ. It
Yes.
worked with the vibration.
Oh no!
Sound to light.
And music to fit as well. VL1 or VL2?
Late,
How to push. So this was after the, what was it, the UFO or the Astro Disco?
is yeah, the same period. The Ragno probably is even before.
78.
Ah, okay.
This was
cool.
the first multi-lenses available on the market.
All right, let's see what else. Oh, there it is. Okay, I didn't even see it. It's hiding up there. The very first one. Well, not this particular one, but first Clay Paky official lights. Yeah.
It was used for about 20 years. When I came to back in the late 90s. Of the first gold scanner, of the second gold scanner. The first product with an electronics and control by DMX channel. And so on. So it's a full museum, not only like
CDJ 500. Yeah, this is me. This was me before. Yeah, this is an old life. Wow. I have one of these. I own one of those. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Next to the MA on my shelf.
This is the most famous of
this is
Woolhog.
What it? I don't know anything about this. This is the it's the
number
regular whole hog.
2, and I think there are about 10 pieces in the world.
Wow. Yeah, he's sitting on his throne. I think. What do you think? The Sharpie is the most identifiable Clay Paky fixture, yeah, for sure.
I'd like to thank Alena and Marco at Clay Paky for putting this entire visit together for me. I was totally blown away by the amount of effort they put into making my experience a great one.
Cos'è? 89, non vedo io. I cannot see because I have no glasses. I lost my eyes in making
Looking all of it. And you catalog it digitally too? Yeah. It's all scanned, I'm sure.
I did all this job for 15 years.
Wow.
So make sure to head down to the comment section and say thank you, Marco. Thank you, Alena, for putting all of this together for us. Until I see you in the next video, ciao from Bergamo.